Okay, so silver had a great crash on the 30th of January, where silver crashed to nearly about 30% in a single day. Okay, so the silver metal itself, it is still there. Okay, the fundamentals, it is still there. Demand and supply, it is still there. So what exactly happened? This is what they call the great silver deleveraging. Okay, also apply on other precious metals such as gold, palladium, and platinum as well. So I've read some of these social media posts on X and also on Facebook, X formerly known as Twitter. So I try to explain, okay, in a way that is as simply as possible, okay, doing some of these slides so that you know exactly what actually happened. So in fact, on the 30th of January, this is where the paper rules actually broke the market. So what do I mean by that? So let's get started. So on the 30th of January, on a single day, okay, the SLV ETF, which is the silver ETF, actually crashed nearly to minus 30%. So it dropped minus 28.54%, okay, in a single day. So this isn't a normal correction. It is more like a liquidation over there. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so like I mentioned, okay, the fundamentals didn't really break it. You know, the supply and demand, it is still there. Okay, the physical metals, it is still there as well. But the rules on how trading, okay, works, it changed. So the rules change. Okay, so it is not a failure. It is a failure of the paper market, not the method itself. Okay, so there were some people who were actually blaming, okay, because of the normally the Fed, normally the new chairman Kevin Walsh potentially, okay. So the Western media blame, okay, Trump and also the new chairman, but that is actually noise. We actually need to look deeper into that. So let's get started. So in fact, on the 30th, not on the 30th, I mean that, move this around first, okay? On the January 13th, okay, there is some rules change in the CME. This is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. This is actually the futures exchange where a lot of commodities actually takes place. So the CME actually quietly shifted the silver margin, okay, from a fixed dollar to percentage base, which means that, okay, as price, okay, skyrocketed, okay, the margin required to hold on to the position also increased a lot. Okay, so in fact, so leverage was effectively kept. So this change, okay, actually forced traders and investors, okay, to put in more cash just to keep their precious metals position open. Okay, so within 9 days, okay, there were actually 5 hikes, and of course, this maintenance margin, okay, actually, okay, lead to this volatility. So in fact, a very small pullback, okay, will lead to possible liquidation or margin call over here. Okay, and you know, this face a very crucial also called a decision by the traders. Okay, so the leverage traders, okay, face two choices. Either, okay, they keep putting in more capital, which they might not have the capital to do so, because, okay, they need to keep putting in more and more, and because, you know, the silver prices and the gold prices kept increasing at a very fast pace. Okay, and or either that, okay, they liquidate, which means that they close their position. Okay, and not only that, there are actually signals from China as well. Okay, so while the West was squeezed, okay, from the margin requirement, okay, there was also a liquidity crisis that is in China as well. So there is actually a price anomaly, okay, all right, in China. Okay, so the China, from the China side of thing, okay, the UBS SDIC Silver Futures Fund was the only listed, okay, fund purely tracking silver futures, okay, but due to the crazy buying frenzy, okay, it was trading at a massively premium, reported about more than 30 premium, 30% to 60% premium above the actual value of the silver itself. Okay, so Shenzhen Exchange, okay, imposed actually an emergency trading halt, okay, which means that nobody can trade this uh, BSSDIC futures fund over here. Okay, all right. So the primary exposure, okay, to the silver where they can actually, you know, buy and sell to trade, okay, was locked. So there was no liquidity. So the liquidity trap was actually set. Okay, so and this mean, okay, that could be lead to more forced liquidation. So because they are unable to sell locally, okay, the Chinese institution, okay, and the retail trader had to raise cash somewhere, okay, either they dump, okay, the SLV ETF listed in the US, okay, or they sell the COMEX futures, okay, or they have to do it somehow, okay, OTC, or hedge offshores, etc. All right. So what it does was that, okay, the paper market cracked, okay, and okay, so because of the repeatedly CME margin hike and these Chinese liquidity trap, okay, this caused a margin liquidation across the Western market, leading to a crash, okay, in the GLD ETF, in the SLV ETF, etc. So what is the timeline of this crash over there? So on the 13th of January, okay, the rules change, okay, the margin increase, okay, as long as the price of the precious metals increase. And within 9 days, there were actually 5 margin hikes over there. And on the 30th of January, okay, China halt the trading, okay. This lead to a global dump, which lead to a crash in the silver and the precious and the gold precious metal ETF, etc. Okay, in the US market. So which means that, okay, leverage actually died, okay. The physical metal, like where you're holding the silver, the metal gold bars, or even the platinum or palladium metal bars, it is still there, okay. But because of the rules in the paper trading, okay, all right, all this leverage died. So this is exactly what happened on Friday, 30th January. So I hope this short presentation, okay, can help you to understand what exactly happened. So what could happen, okay, next week, okay, nobody knows, okay, but we shall see the progress, okay, coming week, and see where the price lead to. But it is, to me personally, this is just my opinion, okay, it is not a good idea, okay, to sell short a market, okay, or asset class when it had dropped drastically. Okay, all right, anyway, so this is the end of the presentation. So let's see how the market will go on next week. Thank you.